Hello there, Maverick Currency traders. This is Rob Reinhold. It is June 5th, and we had a pretty decent trading day today. In this session, we're going to talk about what happened today. We had one central bank come out and cut rates. We're going to take a look at the equity markets, the commodity markets. We're going to score everything from a +3 to a -3, and then, as always, we take the strongest, we pair it up against the weakest, and that's where we focus our attention for upcoming trades.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional Forex and crypto traders. Maverick Currencies is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional Forex and currency trader for Maverick, click the apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
All right, let's take a look at the news of the day first. The first news we got was the Bank of Canada cut rates by 25 basis points, and they basically said there's more to come. Remember, when we saw the interest rates being raised across the world, it was done in a big group. This is kind of signaling that, hey, we're starting to get close to rate cuts by a lot of the central banks. We're supposed to get a rate cut by the ECB tomorrow morning. It looks like central banks are finally going to start cutting rates, and that should put some downward pressure on interest rates. But remember, when all the central banks start to do something together, then what we have to determine is who's doing it the fastest or the slowest. And that's going to determine who strengthens and weakens. We also got U.S. Services PMI, really great number. There's been a little bit of worry about economic growth in the U.S. this week, and this number just was a phenomenal number, and the market really liked that. The dollar surged on this short term, and the equity markets loved it. We had the S&P close at a new all-time high today in the markets. If we take a look at what happened in the returns of Forex, we can see the Kiwi was the best, followed by the British pound. So I've really liked both of these currencies. These have been on our strong list, and they continue to be strong. Now, as a trader, it's very important that you just stick with relative strength and weakness. I know we always like to be like, oh, it's gone up too far. These ones haven't gone long enough. I learned early in my career, sitting next to a guy at a desk, and every time he would buy something, he'd buy something that had already had a big run. And I'm thinking, this guy's an idiot. What's he doing buying at the tops? I was trying to buy at the bottoms. You know who made more money? That dumb guy. And so I started following him and started learning from him, and it just proved to me, no, you want to buy the things that are up, because that tells you that's where the greatest supply and demand imbalance is. Sure, that everything ends, but until it does, we want to be playing. We got a big downturn in the yen. I'm going to focus on the yen because we've seen a good rally in the yen. What we'd love to see is weak currencies have rallies that we can sell into. And guess what? Swiss franc also has had a rally lately that we could definitely sell into. So I'm really liking this setup here in the Forex market. If we come over here to the other markets, S&P World Index up about 1% for the day. Crypto, Bitcoin really close to a new all-time high as well, up 1.7% as a basket. Gold, oil, all up. And you can see here, pretty good returns across the board. We've had big returns over the last couple of days. We're getting up to resistance levels, so we're starting to slow down a bit. We'll take a look at these charts, and we'll see that, it makes sense for them to pause a little bit around this, but the next move definitely looks higher in all of these currencies. So the big question is, did anything change? We were down to a +2 in the markets, and you can see that the S&P completed its pullback. So we had this pullback. It lasted a couple days. We got that big hammer candle on Friday. You can see long lower shadows here, and then we got a gap up and a run. We close at our highs. This is a +3 market. Look, we have a saying at Maverick: trade the market in front of you. Not the one you think it should be, not the one you want it to be. Look, you may not feel bullish. You may not think that this market's going higher. Too bad. Push your feelings aside. Trade the charts. This is a clear breakout to the upside. You want to be leaning on risk-on assets for sure. Now, I mentioned earlier that we are going to be getting the ECB tomorrow morning. So the ECB is going to be tomorrow morning. We get their announcement at, I believe, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time is when we get their announcement. And then you have, 8:15 is when you get the announcement. And then you get the press conference a half hour later. Typically, you get the bigger move off of the press conference with the ECB. So I'm definitely going to be watching Euro. Now, look, I'm not looking to actively trade Euro. Euro has not done anything. And so for me, Euro is on the shelf. I am going to be watching Euro, and maybe the Euro will do something, but I am absolutely not looking to trade the Euro. And then we do have the employment reports on Friday. We just heard from the Bank of Canada, so I don't think the Canadian report is going to be important at all. But this US number, I think the dollar can be both bought and sold here based on where it is in the chart pattern. Let's go ahead and take a look at these currencies, and let's find the strongest and let's find the weakest and pair them together. All right, I want to pull out the crypto basket here. So this is the basket of the 4 cryptos that we look at on an equally weighted basis. And you can see that, they had their highs back here. If we go to just Bitcoin, I've been the most bullish on Bitcoin. And you can see that Bitcoin is coming up into some pretty serious resistance. However, I just want to zoom out here and show you what's going on. We get big runs, bases, runs, bases, runs. This base has been about as long as the run. Usually you see bases that are about as long as the run preceding it. We're right there. I don't see any reason why Bitcoin does not break out to a new high. It's building. The question is when. When does it happen? Look, we might get a couple little failed breakouts here. I think you want to be taking a position if you are going to be trading. I think you take some small positions here, you add on to it. When it breaks out, add on some more, snug up a stop, and hope it breaks out and runs. So for me, Bitcoin here is a buy, but fully understanding that there could be a couple days in here, maybe even a week in here, where we hang out in this 70 to 72,000 area. If you want to wait for a clean break, probably up around 73,000 for a clean break to the upside. It by far is my favorite crypto. Ethereum is looking okay as well. I think Ethereum looks okay, but I still like Bitcoin the best. We're still off of our high here at 4,100 on Ethereum, where Bitcoin is just knocking on the door. As far as our currencies here, I want to take a look at the yen. So again, look at the yen. The yen has said anytime there's a rally, short it. Rally, short it. Rally, short it. Rally, short it. One day rally, short it. Rally, short it. Here's a little rally here. Okay, so we got a rally. I still think you want to be short. Would have been great to get short 12, 13 hours ago. But look, this is where it is. I still like the chart. I still like it quite a bit. Yes, there is worry of intervention. So the question is, can we get the same thing but playing the Swiss franc? Same thing with the Swiss franc here. Anytime there was a rally, you wanted to sell it. Anytime there's a rally, you wanted to sell it. Okay, this one is a big rally, and we've gone substantially above our moving averages. I still want to be a seller of Swiss franc. Still want to be a seller. But that being said, I fully have to understand that this could be a major trend change, but the fact that we are now hitting new highs in the equity markets and Swiss franc is a risk-off currency, I still like Swiss franc to the short side, but technically speaking, I've got to say, it's not a clear signal here on technicals. So if you want to be a technical trader only, I think you got to go with the yen. The dollar, I think you can short it, but it's not moving down very quickly. It's not moving down very quickly at all. So I would much rather be a seller of dollar on spikes during the day. So I think you want to wait for a spike. Maybe we get one on Friday that you can sell into. So between, Swiss franc, dollar, yen, which one is the best looking short? The yen is. The yen's the best looking short. If you don't want to mess with the intervention risk at the Bank of Japan, then Swiss franc is going to be number 2. On the long side, I like pound. I like pound quite a bit. It's having a little pullback here, pulling right back to previous resistance levels, getting a nice little bounce off this. I like pound. CAD to me is a no trade. It's a short, definitely looking to go lower here, but I'm just not looking to trade it. For me, Aussie is interesting, but you can see it's making a little move lower here. We are not done moving lower here on the Aussie. So for me, I'm not looking to buy the Aussie, definitely not looking to sell it. The Kiwi, we've liked it, we still like it. It's very simple. Kiwi and pound look to be the only buyable currencies here. So if we take a look at our little scoreboard here, you can see that we're looking to either be long Bitcoin, long pound, or long Kiwi against the CAD or the yen. Again, I like the Swiss franc, but the Swiss franc technically is not quite there yet. So let's take a look at some of those potential trades. We already looked through the Bitcoin trade and the entry points, so I'm just going to skip on to Kiwi yen. Kiwi yen is going to be the number one trade here in my book. So we're looking to be long Kiwi yen, and you can see we've got a really nice base forming here. We had a big run. This is a big run, and we've got a base forming here. So what do we want to do on bases? We either like to pick up some positions at the low end of the base, which here is going to be between 95.50 and 96, or we wait for breakouts to the upside, which is going to be right up here at the, let's call it 96.80 area. Okay, and you can see for the last 4 hours, we've got this nice little base forming right here. So this has been 16 hours where we've kind of consolidated in this little area. If someone said, Rob, I want to take a position here off this small breakout, and then if it breaks through this level, I'll take another position. Sure, I think that makes some sense here. But this one to me looks like it does want to move higher. Let's take a look at pound CAD. Let me make sure I get the D on the end there. Pound CAD on a daily, the chart looks great here as well. You can see we had a very long base. We had a run from September up to July. We have based for almost a full year here, and now we're breaking out to the upside. The only question here is timing. You know, where is the timing on this trade? And where's a good entry point? You know, here was a great entry point on a breakout, maybe on a pullback here. I wouldn't call this a great entry point. So look, let's let this cool off a bit. If it can pull back into this 174.80 area, even all the way down to 174.55, if we can pull back here, it's great. If not, if we base, then I want to have an order sitting out there for a potential breakout to the upside. So right now we have just a few trades really to look at. Pound and Kiwi and Bitcoin, Ethereum on the upside, and really yen on the downside. I don't love CAD on the downside here. I want to wait for that Swiss franc to get a little weaker, then I'm going to be jumping all over that. But for right here, right now, there's only a few trades out there. That is the currency recap. Thanks for joining me. Goodbye, everybody.